Joining me is Mo Farah as we now enter the last series of the day, and it is going to be a big one. OG.SEED versus Viking in the lower bracket. Both of these teams did not expect to end up here, I would not say. Viking have been showing a lot of promise as of late. Meanwhile, OG.SEED are obviously one of the favorites coming into this one, but here they are fighting against each other in a best of 3 for elimination. Mo Farah, how's it going? I had myself muted. Mo Farah, you're muted as well. Might not even be here. Who knows? That was a pretty clumsy start. Oh well, there we go. We'll wait for him to get back. But yeah, Viking versus OG.SEED. I mean,
oh hello. Sorry, I'm back.
Hi, sir. Hello.
Oh dear. Never mind. So I'm here. Wisp.
IO.
That's exciting.
It's a hero, which Viking will pick up if you let them, and they will first phase it if you let them. They will love this hero till the end of the earth. Meanwhile, OG.SEED, well, they have been given the pucks. They're going to go Wyvern, and they're going to go Puck. They're going to go Puck. There's absolutely nothing else they're ever going to pick here. They just go Wyvern, Puck. That's all they want. It's going to be...
Wyvern Disruptor?
What? No, Wyvern...
Wyvern Abaddon?
No, I'm just putting all my chips onto Puck, okay? My entire casting... God. I will quit casting forever.
All right,
if they don't
I'm going to do something
Puck.
very unprofessional, right? I went downstairs to get an apple, and I came back and you started casting, which is really annoying. But I forgot my drink, so I'm going to go and get it and be back in a sec.
Sorry, my casting. Yes! Woohoo! Don't worry, chat. I get to keep on casting. You get to keep up with me. Oh, it was nearly the end of the road, but there we are. Wyvern Puck will be the picks from OG.SEED. Viking, what is the response? You notice how there's no Ricky band, by the way? Nobody's surprised by that. Lich's going to come out for Viking, and I've just noticed Lich is holding a little IO. Cute. Anyway, yeah, Lich is one of the other good supports right now. A little bit surprised he didn't go Disruptor, but I think the Lich is a little bit more, independent. He's got the Frost Shield as well, which is a really nice spell, so... We'll see. I don't think OG.SEED need to ban the Disruptor anymore. I feel like Viking might want to, because you've already got that Winter's Curse that gives you a great ability to lock down some heroes and set them up for a Static Storm quite easily. Let's see, they're running around down the clock a little bit here. Oh wait, no they're not. Sorry, for some reason I thought it was reserve time. It's been a long day, and we're just about on the 3rd series. So ban out the Slug. Yeah, fair call. Fair call. It's always annoying when you're playing Wyvern. You're like, don't worry, I'll call embrace you. And then Slug's just like, sweet, a free attribute. Let's go. There's so many of those now, though, as well. I mean, you've got the Silencer as well, who's going to steal your int. Slug will steal your agi. Who steals your strength? Timbersaw. Not quite the same, but still. Close enough.
All right. Why is there a Wisp Lich combo on one team?
It's very big.
It feels pretty underwhelming as a support duo.
Yeah, you're not really getting much aggressive potential out of these guys. But, Lich controls lanes pretty well, whilst IO is probably going to not do fantastically on his lane. It's a big difference. Plus, they make a fairly nice trail in together.
The other question I have is that when we watched Viking before, when they picked this Wisp, they picked the Tiny with it, which got taken out in the first phase. So what do they want to pick to go with the Wisp? I have no idea. Magnus is still in the pool, by the way. Oh, no, it's not. I got banned. Oh, right, okay. I'm an idiot. Never mind.
Agreed.
Carry on.
Carry on. Well, Piel gets banned out. Yeah, they were not going to pick that with Wyvern.
I mean, I know which opening I prefer to play. This OG.SEED opening 2 feels really good to me.
Yeah, it feels nice. Wyvern Puck. These heroes are great. Although that said, I have been underwhelmed by Wyvern recently, but it's a great. I mean, it's not a pick on itself. It's just a pick to counter the IO.
Yeah, but I feel like it's also a pick in itself still. Like especially when you see a team that has a lot of physical damage, maybe like Drow lineups, for example, it's pretty good against. Or a Drow on your team.
Cool.
Good segue that.
Yeah,
I definitely did it.
Very nice. So smooth. So smooth.
So, What do they pick when they see the drow? They need a hero that just goes in, right? And they need a hero that offers catch of some sort. I quite like Bat Rider here.
Life Stealer goes in. He infests.
Who does he infest? The Wisp.
Yeah. 3-man relocate. Choo choo.
That sounds sick.
If you tether a Life Stealer and he infests Io, does Io tether himself? Is that safe for work? Would Jesus approve?
I have no idea.
Don't think you would. It's a sin. Self-pleasure. Catholics, big no-no.
I have no idea what they're going to pick here. Yeah, okay. I said Bat Rider, actually. So maybe I do have an idea.
Yeah, you're smarter than you give yourself credit for, Mo Farah. Sometimes we just need to...
don't know about that.
Well, sometimes you just need to, trust in yourself and believe in your own intelligence, and then the true analyst will come out from inside you, rather than the shit which I have to put up with.
I mean, they played this Bat Rider yesterday, though, dude. So, it wasn't that hard, was it? Come on, step your game up.
All right. Anyway.
The problem I see for OG.SEED is they have this drow +1 in the safe lane, right? I assume they're going to have to pick a different 5 now. Otherwise, this lane's like impossible for them, and they'll have to put the puck as a core. Yeah, there you go. Otherwise, you have like this drow wyvern support lane, and the Bat Rider just runs at you, and you're like, well, I can't do anything. So they pick the Abaddon up in response. Makes sense to me. And it means that it's probably going to be a puck off lane, I would assume.
Templar Assassin.
Ooh, TA in the mid.
I think that kind of forces the puck to not be mid now.
Yeah, that's a boom favorite, so no surprise to see it.
He's very good at that hero. And it's very good at against these like squishy heroes like Puck and Drow as well that die really easily. They do have Wyvern, which makes it a little bit more difficult for the TA, like all physical damage, but they'll find a way, I'm sure. What are they? So they need something that's probably going to have to lane up against Puck Wyvern as their safe laner last for Viking. Maybe something like a Gyrocopter might be okay. Kind of gives them a bit more team fight, which they lack at the moment. Works well with the Wisp. Classic combination.
Classic combo. Yeah, taking their time, reserve time. It's the final bans. You've made it this far through without having to worry about, those stupid reserve times coming in. So you just relax now. Final bans. Have a think.
I like the CK ban, though. It's pretty good. I think anything with a little bit more catch is really good for them. Maybe Sven for Viking. You talked about Sven yesterday.
I did. I want to see Svenag so badly.
What about, like, Troll? I think Troll's pretty bad against Wyvern Puck, actually.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I'd like to see a Troll.
Wraith King? For Viking, maybe? I'm just trying to think of heroes that are, a bit different, a bit out there.
Yeah.
I think they're going to go Gyro, but...
Bring it in a bit, What do you think? You actually think they're going to go Gyro?
I think they do, yeah.
Yeah, Iocopter is a strong combo.
It's another like pseudo setup for the relocate as well.
Yep.
I don't know why Wisp would ever be relocating without the gyro, but I like that the 4 last bands of OG.SEED are all just IO partners. What about IO Luna?
Ooh, no, Luna's in the bin, I'm afraid.
It's awful, but
crap.
Even so.
Someone tried to play Luna support against us the other day. I was like, the only reason people played that as support was for the aura. So now, what are you doing?
I play for the Axe Refresher Rush on my position for Luna.
Yeah, I can accept that, honestly. it's quite strong, but
and I can put wards down from further away with the cast range talent.
Oh yes.
That I don't buy.
No one buys wards anymore.
Even though they're free.
Oh, you're just a matter of principle.
Yeah.
Yeah, Quantum Blade gives you pretty sick instant D-ward range as well with those talents. Big fan.
I really like what they're doing here. For people that are unsure why they're taking so much time, what they're doing is they're thinking of their pick and their ban. So
yeah,
they're going to
ban out Husker, pick,
and then they pick straight away.
Avenge.
Ooh, that's
High-O
different.
Avenge.
I have seen Shad play this before. I just haven't seen it in a while. It's like the way they play it is this TA is basically their position 1 anyway, right? So they kind of play this like semi-carry, like carry venge.
Yep.
But when I say semi-carry venge, I mean semi-carry pos 1 venge.
10 seconds.
That it's like a little bit more utility focused. They have really good Roche potential now as well.
They have really good objective taking, Roche taking. They're going to hit the timing at 15-20 minutes, which OG.SEED have to fight real hard to stay in this one. But they do have the Wyvern, and all this right-click damage and the squishiness of these heroes makes this Winter's Curse an incredible ability.
I see SF coming. I'm pretty sure. Even though it's a difficult lane. Oh, okay, well that makes sense. This is like the only matchup the TA I think really dislikes, apart from Bat Rider, I guess. And it is definitely a chessy kind of hero.
Chessy kind of hero indeed. Yeah, Razor going to give them the aggression and allow them to fight back into Viking a little bit here, and also try and contest the Templar Assassin in lane a little bit. See how it works out for them, but...
I think this Bat Rider's going to have an insane game. I said it last time Toby played it yesterday, and he did. He played very well. He made so much space, and I think he's going to do the same again. I think he just runs at them, and I don't know what they do. They have an Abaddon, but I don't think it's enough.
Yeah, the Abaddon's going to make the lasso a pretty not so tasty option, but at the same time, there's little to stop, as you said, the Bat Rider just flying at them and burning them all from the sky. This could be a problem. Also, they've got the swap, which is, I mean, I really appreciate Venge and Bat Rider to counter the Abaddon, because now when you swap them into Lasso, then that means that the Abaddon is going to be nowhere near close enough to get a shield off and cancel out the Lasso, so it still allows you to use that spell without it instantly being cancelled every time.
Mm-hmm. I'm just not sure about this Wisp Lich support combo. Like, it's not awful, don't get me wrong. And they have good catch from their cores now as well. They got traps, lasso, stun from the Venge. But I think I'd still rather play the OG.SEED lineup. I'm interested to see how this Venge does, though. It's something that I've talked about with other people before. And it's been around for a little while, but we don't see it too often.
No, I mean, every time we see Venge being played, she kind of always falls into more of a 2 position than a 1 position, but when you got a TA, that's okay. You know, the TA can do the heavy lifting for you, no worries. Let's get into it. Game number 1, Viking versus OG.SEED, and I don't know, I think generally when you look at this series, you think OG.SEED are going to be taking the 2-0 here with, well, not relative ease. I mean, Viking are good, but OG.SEED just have the higher caliber of players, generally speaking, but from the way they've been playing, I think this is going to be very even.
For people that don't know, the coach of Viking GG is Immortal Faith, who's the guy that makes the a lot of the guides for people.
I didn't know that.
And he's been drafting for them as well. And because I've been talking to Celery a bit about it, and he was saying, you know, didn't ever think he would get coached by him, but they're really impressed with him. He's been doing a really good job for them, and they missed out on a few finals. I think they lost in a few finals for different things. Like, weren't they in the final of WESG qualifiers and they lost?
They were. They lost
Pretty
to
sure.
Chicken Fighters. No, I mean that was a different region actually. I'm not too sure.
And I think it might have been Chicken Fighters actually. And then they lost the final for something else at the same time. But they've come on so far, and they've lost their mid player in Tanner to Ninjas now as well. But they still seem to be putting up a really good show. And I think a lot of their drafts have been pretty solid. So, you know, shout out to him.
Yeah, and Boom does impress, so I'm definitely interested to watch how this team progresses. And right now I think they've got a great draft versus OG.SEED, and I can certainly see them taking this first game, but let's see how it works out. Chessie in the mid, going to be playing out versus this Templar, so this has turned into a very interesting matchup with the static link, because it basically means that the TA Refraction not going to be as fantastically useful as it used to be versus the Razor. He doesn't have to stop to attack you anymore, so he can just follow you and wait for that shield to fall down without having to stop and allowing Boom to get the distance on him. So
yeah, the main thing as well is this base damage difference now always going to be favouring the Razor. like TA when she gets level 3, I'm assuming she's just going to go to the jungle because it's really difficult to stay in this lane.
Yeah, unless it's like a critical mistake from the Razor, it should be a pretty easy lane. Z-Freak, meanwhile, going to go pull these creeps over here, just wants to bring them past the tower, and... oh, is it actually Wyvern... No, it's... Yeah, it's Wyvern 3. Pexu's on a Baden. Okay.
Yes,
I like
yeah,
this a lot.
because...
I like this a lot.
Oh, they put the Wyvern as the 3.
Yeah,
I thought
Pexu
Puck
was
would
gonna
be
be
the 3. No. The Aben's always going to be in the Batrider lane, right? Because they had no other way of dealing with it.
Yeah, you're right. But the Puck's pulling the creeps. I don't know. Maybe the Wyvern's still the 4, and but Jibe's the offlane player.
Yeah, he's still... Yeah. He's playing the 3 Wyvern.
Right.
Which, we talked about how the Wyvern's really good against the TA, right? Like, it's all physical damage on the dire side, apart from Batrider, and I guess Chain Frost as well. So if this Wyvern has a decent amount of farm and can get in good positions, he will do so much this game.
Yeah, for sure. And of course the Winter's Curse as well. You know, it's a phenomenal game for Winter's Curse. You've got the IO, who's always going to be in range for it, generally speaking, and then the Venge Aura is just going to be a huge negative to a team when that spell comes out.
Something to point out though, this Drow is not having a game. She has 1 CS and 1 Deny at the moment, and that's with the lane pushing towards the Batrider.
Yeah. Yeah, this is already looking horrible in the bottom lane. I'm not too sure about this. Meanwhile, Jibe getting over the cliff. He's very far away from creeps right now. And Puck's actually taking most of those creeps. Regen at bottom. Oh, God.
I like how we can hear the link because the rune camera is near mid.
Yes. It's an interesting interesting feature of that rune
I got
cam.
so confused for a second. I was like, what? We're looking at top lane. Why do I hear a link?
Yeah, I'll be very upset. To be honest, I'm just upset it spawned in the first place. I don't really care who gets it. And unless you've played mid, you don't know that horrible feeling of when you've done, you know, pretty well in a lane, or whether you've just dumped a bunch of mana into your opponent. You traded, and then they just go and pick up a regen rune. Ugh.
It's all about the DD rune.
No, the regen rune is the worst rune in the mid lane, 100%.
I think it depends who you're against, though. Like, if you're against an SF, like a DD is much better, right? Or a TA. But against, like, a Zeus or a Sky or something, the regen's obviously much better. Or a Lena.
I've talked to a couple of pro players about this, and I've watched an interview as well where they said, like, every single mid laner just hates the regen runes. It just changes the equilibrium so hard.
I don't know. Every mid laner's in the jungle anyway now, so...
True.
Regen runes.
Yeah, and don't need regen runes where we're going. So Shad trying to farm up here, and had a pretty peaceful time at top, 9-3. But it is to no surprise we see Razor leading the CS board with 18-7. A very impressive score for him thus far in the middle lane at 3 minutes 30. And yeah, that TA, as predicted, is just sitting in the jungle, farming some creeps, and hating her life.
That's the way it goes now. There's too many mid matchups that are just unplayable at the moment. Huskar's being picked, Razor's being picked. It's like some people can't lane against TA. It's pretty awful.
Dara, this is Toby being quite aggressive here. The shield is actually coming out onto him. I'm not really too sure what the plan is here for Toby. He's actually getting really low. Molly shot comes in, the damage is there, and the miscoil will finish the job. Pexu finds it. He might burn out. Nope, he's fine. So that was just a pretty huge misplay from Toby there. I think it's safe to call it.
The reason I don't understand that is because he had a ward, so he saw where the Abba was.
Yep. What's the reason for that play? Yeah, you just got to wonder. And he didn't have any snacks on the Drow either. Like, it's not even like he could start chipping away. Nice little jump away from the puck there. Can't disjoin, but will get to relative safety. Meanwhile, Lich getting linked in the middle lane. Not enjoying that one at all. Actually coming under the tower, and Chessie should finish the job. But,
this is really good
coming
for TA,
in.
though.
Can he find the space? Yes, he can. Tower will finish the job. It's a shared bounty, but Boom finds the XP. That is pretty fantastic, actually. Lich more than happy to die for that.
I don't really know why this Lich left bot lane. He's now TPing back again, but...
But being pretty sick, you know? TP'd mid to get some XP because he's really selfish, and then ends up dying but getting a kill onto the Razor for TA, and then TA's like, wow, thanks, Lich, you're such a team player. And he's just like, yeah. You're welcome. Just doing my bit.
I wonder what skill build Venge goes as well. Whether it's like a 1-4-1 or a 1-1-4. Maybe he wants to play more like pressure heavy and go for more points in stun. There's a lot of different things you can do.
I imagine he'll probably end up with 4-4-4.
I would assume so. What, without the ult?
No, wish me out. I'm just saying that eventually he'll get there.
So 4-4-4-3.
4-4-4-3, yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Yep. I'll probably take some talents too at some point.
The Venge talent's okay. The level 10 one's pretty awful. It's like a little bit of agi, I think, or a -1 second wave of terror cooldown or something like that. +1 armor decrease or something.
How do they ever balance talents? Because I really feel like they're not ever that related to the hero. I mean, obviously support talents are slightly stronger than core talents, but then sometimes, like, some supports have really terrible talents.
Oh dear.
Oh, no, Madara's just TPing away. See you later.
Batrider's worst enemy before he hits level 6.
The TP scroll. And Bloodseeker's TP, and then Arch Nemesis the entire game. Oh,
Oh,
Z3.
nice.
That was so rude. That's how you tilt someone right there. Tip him. Tip him.
120 gold swing. It's big.
True. Not wrong.
This Venge is getting a lot more than I thought she would. But I thought the puck would be +3, so that kind of makes sense. This Wyvern's not really a strong laner. He doesn't have a lot of base damage. Can't really contest the Venge at all.
No.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
This game's going pretty well for Viking, honestly.
Yeah, it's very peaceful. I feel like OG.SEED needs to pick up the pace at some stage, but it's only 7 minutes into the game. Like, maybe you can't expect that much off them. They are close to losing that middle tier 1 tower at the very least, so the Razor is doing his job well. But Shad having a relatively nice time up at top. Top of the net worth chart now, actually.
It's very much on the Razor to play with the puck, though, I think, to get these kills early on. Like, the Wyvern doesn't really offer that much in terms of, like, roaming potential. You got the Curse, which is nice, and the Drow's not amazing at it.
There's a little bit of engagement going on at top. Chessie makes his way up. They're going for Aramis, and Aramis will be brought down. Shad just going for the TP out. That's going to be successful. And Chessie with the ultimate can now look to push forward onto this tower, but Boom is going to use that space to try and take these creeps here in the middle lane. And maybe put some counter pressure onto the middle tier 1 tower. Meanwhile, Madara and Toby just watching each other farm as usual, continuing their romance.
Yeah, I like that play by the Razor. It would have been much better if they got the Venge, obviously, but unfortunately, heads up play by Shad. Unfortunately for the Razor, sorry. No bias here.
Why does Batrider have to ruin the all-blue game, by the way?
Yeah, that's true. It's very. At least he has a little bit of blue on his back.
Yeah, he's making an effort, but...
Oh, the Drow TP'd all the way back to base.
Yeah, she did get pretty low from that.
I feel like you should be TPing to the shrine or something there, though.
Oh my god, Boom's actually going to take the middle tier 1 tower before the Razor does. That's really bad. And Pexu comes in trying to defend it. Does just about survive, but gives his courier in the process.
It got side-bladed, I think. Or did he actually... I think he hit it off a creep.
I'm fairly sure it just came right in front of him. Oh, that's a side blade hit, though. Good night, Jibbe.
Oh, snap.
Oh, snap.
Oh, they got the Razor.
Oh, God, Razor. Yeah, he's taking way too much damage. The overcharge, Aramis and Shad combination... Too much damage. OG.SEED, they are not growing right now. In fact, they're just laying in the soil and starting to rot. Need to see some action here, but what do they do?
Did you ever do those experiments in school with like moldy bread on radiators and stuff? And what other weird ones were there? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do actually. Yeah, this is what we do in British schools, by the way. Put moldy bread on radiators, and then the teacher goes, "Here you go, you shits. Well, watch this. I'm gonna go.
Where's the damage?
Have a cigarette out back." Yeah. Oh God, Jibbe, come on, buddy. That's a pretty spaced out. They might still get the kill. Swap comes out. Actually, Shad on the backline. Z3 and Pexu trying to chase him down. Meanwhile, Solari is dead. Now the link comes out onto Aramis. He's going to be taking damage. Boom comes in, but I'm not sure that's the best play. OG.SEED are doing it right now. Meanwhile, Boom goes in Viz. They don't have the vision. Shad still being chased down though. Jibbe and Z3 are on the case. Do they have any spells though? Swap comes out, but that's not going to do much other than secure Shad's own death. Aramis buys back, kills Jibbe, going for Z3 as well, tethering up to the Venge illusion of all things. Z3 goes to the TP around the side. Boom finds him. Trap comes out. They need a little bit more damage, but there is no coil or nothing to get himself away. No orbs. Shad brings down Z-Freak in the end. A worthwhile buyback for Aramis, I must say. And that makes things a little bit more even in the grand scheme of things. Thanks, Fight Recap. Real bloody helpful.
Completely forgot that we would have a Venge illusion spawning there on his death. And so when he swapped him under tower, I was like, oh, this is quite a lot. And then he started taking a lot more damage, and I was like, oh, yeah. That's a pretty good thing about Venge, isn't it? It's not just a support thing. I honestly don't know if that was worth it for OG.SEED though. Like, they rotate 5 heroes up to the top lane while Batrider's just farming bot. TA got a lot of farming that time as well for most of it.
I'll take that.
And they even get a kill in return. So, sorry, 2 kills in return.
Dos kilos, as they say in Spain.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's exactly what they say.
Well, Madara is now going to try luck up in the top lane because bottom wasn't so successful against that Batrider. So she's going to try and push out, maybe take a tower, at least get some money on board at least. Meanwhile, Batrider has actually finished up those boots of travel, so he is a moneyful boy. Although, I say that, he's actually pretty low down on net worth. It's just a fancy item.
When he lassos somebody as well though, right? Like, the Abaddon's... It's not easy for him to get in range to use the shield. Like, it's a really short range, so...
Well, that's what I was talking about earlier with the swap being the setup for the lasso. Oh, Toby.
Yeah.
A lot of couriers here, but swap out onto Madara, holding them back. Now Lasso comes out there. She uses it onto Abaddon. Chain Frost comes bouncing around. Chessie will dispel it, and Shad actually in the front lines, not being healed up by Aramis at all, but he finds the illusion instead. Get him, boys. Meanwhile, Madara on the run. He's going to be okay, actually turning around with a multi-shot, trying to get some damage off here. Boom trying to chase down Chessie. Chessie's okay for the time being. Plasmill going to show them down. Toby unable to get the catch any further than this, so it's just going to be a straight-up trade. Abaddon for the Venge, which is pretty... Oh, Z-Freak. He wants to throw a cog and some wrenches here, but fortunately, yeah, that's okay. Never mind. Good for Viking then. In the end,
Yeah, I mean the Venge dying there's a big unfortunate no. But if he swaps himself in like that, that's probably what's going to happen. They just going to. Oh my god! Look how fast that dies.
yeah, this Roshan is more like a no Shan. Am I right?
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Can we change
Roshan
back?
CCTV. Oh, helping out a lot.
Oh, Celery gets the last hit.
Green
He's
roll.
loving life.
So Roshan goes down. Aegis in the hands of Boom. It was Boom who picked it up, right? I'm just going to assume yes.
Sorry, I had a coughing fit. What did you say?
It was the TA that picked up the Aegis, right?
I assume so, yeah. I don't think they'd give it to anybody else.
No, that'd be surprising. Okay, yeah, they did.
Oh, he actually went 1-1-4 on the bench. Okay. All about that attributes. And the is it attributes in attack range, right?
Yes, I believe so. It's a good aura. It is. Oh, Coil comes out onto the Batrider. Batrider turning around, not too sure what to do himself. Going to stand in the multi-shot instead. Probably questioning that one right now. Meanwhile, Z-Freak goes north. He's going to go and TP out and should be absolutely fine. Or is he TPing out? He might just be chilling. He might just be hanging. No, TP's out. Bottom tier 2 is the destination.
I wonder what their plan is to deal with this TA. They have, like, Winter's Curse, but they've basically got 3 supports at the moment, it feels like, on this Radiant side. Because Wyvern it isn't doing a huge amount. It's just this curse and then, you know, a bit of utility with the heal.
Yeah. We haven't seen the effectiveness at all. And he's got no items. Like, he's got nothing. He's got arcanes. Literally down with the supports. Really
I wonder
bad.
if he takes the GPM talent or the damage at level 10.
Yeah, I mean, usually you expect the damage, right?
You expect damage from cores, but I don't know if it's his job this game to be doing damage, right?
No. And he's so far behind, like, he might just want the gold talent to catch up a bit. But not taking that damage talent is kind of rough as a core position. Yeah, you want to be able to kill whoever's in that that ultimate. Z-Freak watching Shad farm like the creep he is. Toby's in the neighborhood as well. Just flying in circles, showing off some fancy flying, waiting for the rune to spawn. Getting that bounty. Meanwhile, Boom coming down the ground, but however, with the static link attached, well, Boom doesn't seem to mind. Still doing a ton of damage to Pexu. Boom's going to keep on
It's
chasing
only
here.
43 damage. Oh, the miss.
Oh. Pexu happy about that one. And now in comes Aramis trying to help out, but instant Winter's Curse comes down. That's going to catch out 3. Is it enough to finish the job, though? Nope. Aramis still surviving for now, but Z-Freak will finish the job. Pops him like a balloon. Meanwhile, TA just trying to stand their ground and fight against 4 heroes right now. Make it 5, but fortunately, that's not going to be the case. Aegis has dropped. Batrider trying to come around on the side ground here and make something happen, but unfortunately, nothing is going to happen. It looks like TA all by herself is going to be brought down. Nearly brings down Chessie in the process, but not enough damage. And it's going to be a 3-kill streak for Viking in that one. Sorry, for OG.SEED in that one.
That's a really silly, like just walking up onto the high ground and throwing an Aegis away. Especially when you have such a big advantage like this, you're just allowing them to get back into the game. Especially when you know your Venge isn't there. Like, yeah, if you get a pick off maybe, but as soon as that meld strike doesn't kill the Abaddon, you should just be backing off there, I'm sure. Even if if you think he's 1 hit away from dying, I don't think running up to the high ground is the play still.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
Well, OG.SEED are going to try and finish off this top tier 1 tower. And looks like they want to do the same down at bottom eventually, but Shadow and Io actually coming in really deep here. Jimmy's on the run.
There is.
He's got another
They
curse,
did pick up another Shul though, so we're going to be handing that over to the Batrider. Really good item for him.
Ooh, Vampire Fangs. I think a lot of heroes on that team want that. Bat for the vision in the night time.
Yeah, Bat's like, oh, some slots.
Radiant's bottom
Thank you.
tower is under attack.
Oh, there comes another curse, and this might just be the IO brought down. Is enough damage? Not quite. Stun comes down onto Pexu, trying to hold him back. Aramis just sticking to the back lines as far back as he can get. Even dropping the coil and just trying to finish the job, but they're really struggling. Finally will go down, but meanwhile, the Chain Frost, my goodness. Not doing enough, though. It is going to be OG.SEED taking this fight, and they're going to look for more. They're trying to get at least 1 kill onto Chessie, and they will drag out to the high ground and finish him off. And actually, Pexu, oh my god, Zibe! They just turned this one around. Z-Freak suddenly tries to turn back up to this fight, but goes, where are my friends? They were just lying scattered dead on the floor. He needs to make his way out of this one, trying to go up the river. We'll be able to get away to that orb. But Toby's not done. He's still chasing. He finds him. He's got the stacks on him. 4, 5. Good night. Boom jumps in and finishes the job. So, what a turnaround.
That fight looked like it was going to be really bad for the Dire side. I was like, why is the TA still going in? She manages to not get linked too hard at the start of that fight as well. Lasso comes out from the Batrider to pull the Razor away. And all of a sudden, the TA just cleans everybody up.
Yep, she gets her gloves on and she just goes to work.
And this Batrider has a blink now as well. You know, this Abaddon has to be in the right place at the right time, like always now. It feels like it's going to be really difficult for Pexu. And the other thing is, this Venge keeps dying first, and he doesn't care. Because the illusion spawns, and he says, well, I'm just going to hit you anyway.
Exactly. It doesn't make much of a difference to the Venge's life. She dies straight away. Pexu just popping that ulti, trying to get away as quickly as he can, but unfortunately he's going to get dragged back in, and now he's regretting his life decisions. He's 2-shot down by Boom. Yikes.
Remember when I said he had to be in the right place at the right time? I didn't say wrong.
You didn't say wrong place at the wrong times. No, he didn't. That was an important distinction, which unfortunately this Abaddon seems to have missed.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Coming into this series, this is not what I expected at all, but they're playing really well on Viking. Actually, that sounds really bad. That sounds like I wasn't expecting them to play well, but...
Well, in the face of OG.SEED, you would expect some cracks to show, but Viking are pretty formidable right now. They are not really choking too hard, and they might even find Madara here, coming up onto the high ground. Oh, he's on top of him straight away. Multi-shot tries to come out, but they're controlling very nice. And now into Solari, into Boom. Chain Frost bouncing around. Can they finish the job, though? It's taken some time. They need a little bit more in the tank. Aramis trying to finish the job, but will be able to do so. Io does it, but a beautiful curse is going to kill off Shad as well. But once again, the illusion going to go to town all the same. And Solari is also killed off. Oh, Jibe. Get away, Jibe, but there is nowhere to run. Boom finds him, brings him down, and he's pinging that ward like crazy, saying they knew where I was. They knew exactly where I was, but that is the direction they came from, so you kind of need to assume that one when you go into that fight.
What is their answer to this TA?
Yeah, this TA is berserk. She's doing whatever she wants, and she's going to have a BKB for the next fight as well. If they're able to secure a couple more bounty runes or just a couple more creeps, waves, she'll get it. Either way for the next fight.
If they don't get a link off onto the TA in the fight, I don't know how they stop her. Like, they have this cold embrace, which is really nice to stop her from focusing one target. I think they just die when they come out.
Yeah. It seems to be the story we're reading right now. So, BKB, TA. Madara's just trying to farm. Like, he's got the Hurricane Pike, which he decided to go for first. I mean, I kind of appreciate that because you don't want to be sat with these gap closers, especially if there's a relocate on you or a TA blinking on you or a Bat Rider coming towards you. But at the same time, they kind of need some damage in these fights, and Chessie is seemingly unable to provide that. And they're just going to casually pop the... Oh, turning it around though. Madara turns up to this fight, starts right-clicking, but it's not quite enough, and Peksu should be getting beat down all the same here, so the gank is successful, but Bat Rider, is he alright here? Oh, Boom comes in, nearly cleaving Z-Freak in two. Can he finish the job? Yes, he can. Down he goes. Puck says goodnight, and Boom starts getting to work on this tower. BKB in the inventory, ready to be used, but doesn't even need it just yet. They might... Are they going high ground? I mean, they've got the Venge. They've got this early game lineup. Why not? She can actually hit it from below the steps. But,
oh my
Madara
goodness.
is in. Okay, alright. Madara can do damage as well. You know, just reminding us that multi-shot is a spell. A very strong one at that.
As well. So that's going to help his damage output a little bit more.
Doesn't for multi-shot though.
No, but just in general as well.
Mm-hmm.
This Venge pick has done really well so far. I've been
Yeah,
pretty
it has.
impressed.
It's very rare that we see a Venge pick do this much.
I think it only works when you have certain mid heroes though. Like we used to see Venge do so a lot.
Yeah, but it is going to fall. Oh, look at Shad. Perfectly positioned. Just pops every single smoke, but he actually...
Oh, the gust!
Oh my god, the gust comes out. I mean, oh god, the curse as well with the static link. This is looking beautiful from OG.SEED. Shad goes down, Toby follows as well. Viking, they're trying to still fight up into this one, but I don't think they can. It's more a tactical retreat than anything. Aramit's going for the TP, and there's... Oh no, the net. Madara, stand still, son. We're taking you down with us, and multi-shot comes out. The damage is there. Aramis lasts a long time, but still will drop. 3 heroes down on the side of Viking, and I've got to say, I've seen some bad swaps in my time, but that was atrocious.
I mean, when I saw him go in, I just assumed the rest of his team was there. Then we look, and they're like all still running over. I was like, oh, this is not good.
Yeah. I assume there was some sort of follow-up, but it literally looked like the enemy had swapped them in. Like that's the kind of swap you'd see from an enemy Venge. Not even... Jesus. Okay. Well, you know, sometimes you get a bit carried away. Sometimes you just get on your battle roar, scream, and swap into the back lines of the enemy team when there's nobody in your team there. It happens. Not often, but it do. Smoke up again. OG.SEED. Well, it worked so well the last time. Let's swap that Venge again. And they are just running straight up right now. Is Viking aware? Toby is not really guarding those steps, but OG.SEED are also not really cognizant of where Viking are. That's a very violent pinging. I think that's from Shad saying, guys, I think they're here. And Z3 jumps away immediately onto Shad once again. They're going for the Venge, but Boom on the backlines. Pop that BKB, but blinking out. Venge gets brought down again. Bat Rider coming in, gets her, but it gets taken off immediately. Now Peksu popping that ultimate, running himself forwards. They have taken down the Venge. They want to take some more, but Viking holding back, but Boom does not have that BKB anymore, so OG.SEED should be comfortable to go in for a second ride here, especially with that Winter's Curse still in their quiver, ready to be fired out. But once again, they're backing out quite substantially here. They just want to use this space to try and farm up a bit more and buy a little bit more time in this game, it seems.
It's really difficult for them to have to go for objectives, though, at this point. There's just been a really couple of botch fights on the Dire side at the moment, unfortunately for them. This Venge gets caught off a little bit, and this Wyvern's doing a lot of work, actually. With the cursed threat just always there. And I love the medallion that he's gone for too. Yeah, you curse somebody, medallion them as well. Get the damage all pounded into one person.
Yeah, absolutely. OG.SEED going to start, well, holding the game. at a kind of steady plateau here. You know, it's 19 to 19, a 6k advantage for Viking, but OG.SEED just want to see it through to the late game. That's all they want right now. That's why they're not trying to make too much out of these kills. They're not getting carried away. Pexu is seen on the front lines here. Now he has got the borrowed time. Should he want to use it? They're focusing on Madara. The heal comes out from Jibbe. Winter's Curse, but it only catches out the Venge on the back lines. That's not ideal. Madara going to beat him down as well. He's trying to make his way where, though? There's nowhere else to run. He's cornered. He's back against the wall and finished off. Blood splattered by Boom. But Chessie's coming in. Chessie gets a kill onto Boom. Boom buys back into this one. They want to try and take down Roche, but Chessie is a monster. He's a machine. Stone comes out onto him, trying to hold him back. Aramis overcharges Shad. Shad can hold the front line of this fight pretty nicely. Roche wants to join in. Swap comes in. Shad is risky, but it might just pay off. Heal comes out onto Jibby from himself. Are they coming in to save him? No, they are not. They're saying goodnight to their Wyvern. Meanwhile, the rest of OG.SEED backing themselves away. Toby here is chasing, though. He's got that Frost Shield for the slows, and onto 2. Goes for the back target. Goes for the Abaddon. No shield to Dacer. The damage is coming in. They will be able to finish. Here comes Boom. Doing the damage, but the shield comes out, but they swap him onto the backline. Jibbe can't do much. It's a dieback from him. Chessie as well, put into the grave. Viking running all over OG.SEED. They take down 4-5 heroes. Puck, the only one to survive throughout that entire thing. And they just running and kept on running. 6 kills in total for Viking. It did cost them the 3 buybacks, though. You gotta be cognizant of that. Only a 911 gold change, as our observer points out. Now, can they get onto this high ground and start doing some damage to the towers? Because this will be the big target. They have a buyback on the Razor. Should he want to use it? 42 seconds until he's got it, though. It's going to be a while.
It feels like they can't fight without the Wyvern. A really good use of buybacks. They know that the curse is down. They can just commit to these fights with this Batrider just running in on everybody.
Oh, the damage. OG.SEED, they're losing their base and then some. Drought fires a multi-shot into mid just to get rid of the creeps, but I think they can probably just do this through the back door. Melee barracks. Shad is choosing the range barracks for some, well, whatever. They're getting both anyway. Who cares? Viking, they come in, they plunder, and they get themselves away. Meanwhile, Puck's on a bit of an adventure. I think he was just getting some wards down here.
He's chilling. It's fine.
Yeah, having some fun. Having some fun.
Oh, and they get the shrine as well. This would be so big. Just ready for this Roche.
My god. They have just cleaned out OG.SEED. Like, that was... And they had to do that to make it worth as well. You know, they weren't, you know, as you saw, 900 gold gained from that fight. It's not good enough. But the fact that they just go in chasing like hungry dogs for as much as they go, it's a good coil, but unfortunately, giving your life for it, maybe not that smart. Solari on the high ground, being targeted down. Pexu forced to split out here as they bring down Shad as well. OG.SEED do strike back quite hard here, but Boom's still alive and he's doing damage. Winter's Curse comes out to waste the BKB timing. Madara just hitting him for fun at this stage. Why not? Now, Boom tries to get away and the relocate comes out. Gonna get the Drought to safety. Now, they could think of coming back in on this one. Let's see if they do. I mean, the Venge is making their way over. Yeah, they might want to try it. Let's see. Aramis being brought down pretty quickly here. Is there anyone coming around for him? It doesn't look like it. I think the Orb of Light is gonna be decimated.
They need to try and defend this Roche, though, on the dire side. It's so big for them.
They do. But then again, can they afford to? 2 heroes dead. They can buy back on their IO, but they're really running thin on these buybacks. I mean, everybody's just pouring. Oh, what?
Oh, God. This might be really bad, though. If they can get the Batrider to just go in here.
Cancel the lasso. IO comes back in. ETP's into the shrine. And don't forget, OG.SEED, if they want to buy back to fight this, they don't have anything to TP into. They destroyed the shrine earlier. They might have buybacks, and they're just going to give this one away. Look at this. They just go into the pit. Pexu dies, and that is it. They know going to be absolutely no shenanigans here.
Oh, they want the Batrider. They want like the Drow Ranger.
They want the Drow Ranger, yeah. The coil's going to come out to hold the rest of the team back. A nice job there from the Puck just to defuse the situation a bit, but unfortunately it can't defuse the game as it is getting spicy now for OG.SEED. They firstly lose their buildings, then they think they've taken a fight, but just as things start going well for them, Pexu goes and dies to Roshan.
So the only buybacks we have up at the moment are the Drow and the Razor.
Correct.
So even if Viking take a bad fight now...
and everyone else on cooldown at 29 minutes. Pretty unprecedented.
I mean, that second Roche was so important, though, for both sides. Like the Dire really wanted to be able to play their tempo. And so it's really important that the Radiant tried not to give it to them. And he's actually getting Lincolns on the Drow. Okay. Very close, about 300 gold away. Really good up against that lasso, up against the swap. They don't really have any good initiation apart from those. Oh, quiver. Pretty good on the TA.
Arms for the dead.
I don't know if she has slots, but
You make me quiver.
who did?
Anyway. It's like the
didn't-
concern more than anything.
Yeah. Oh no.
It's like you've never heard that before.
This Radiant Jar
Wow.
feels really weird now at this point in the game, right? Like normally you have this Drow to like make somebody else strong. Like we normally see the TAs or the SFs with it. And this game it's a Razor, and so they have these like two cores that aren't like scaling massively well at the moment. And then a Wyvern on top, it just feels really awkward. Like they just don't have a massive amount of damage apart from when this curse comes out. This back row is also stacked, by the way, because of the neutral items.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I think we're getting to the stage now where they can probably just go high
Radiant's
ground.
top tower
And
has fallen.
Drow's building in Lincolns. I don't know if you commented on this, but imagine building a Lincolns in a game against a Batrider where you already have an Abaddon. But I think it's just as much the swaps from the Venge, which she's trying to defend
Yes.
herself from.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Abaddon can't help much with that one.
It's very important, though. Like, the Drow's the most important hero on their team, and if she ever gets caught out of position and picked off, like, the fight's pretty much just over at that point.
Yeah,
Because she's so much of the Razor's damage as well.
yeah, that's what I was... the Razor is going to have to come through and keep on doing the damage. But I like Madara's itemization now, you know, realizing that this Lincolns is going to make such a dent in his ability to get off his damage in these team fights because he's just not going to have much, that he goes for the full-up Butterfly next.
Yeah. And the evasion's really good up against this physical damage lineup of the Venge TA as well. Makes a lot of sense. I wonder what they use to try and cancel the Lincolns as well. I mean, you have two swaps on Venge, right? So it is possible. Now, that mango tree is really interesting just outside the base. Because I saw Nigma do this as well in the final of the Minor. And I think the idea is, right, that instead of just buying clarities all the time, you just ferry mangoes out that are just outside your base.
Oh, you mean just outside your fountain?
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually saw someone did that on the very first pub game I played. Interesting.
Probably because they just didn't know what to do with it, though, at the time.
No, they planted it down. They said, use your couriers, pick up mangoes. Yeah, and I was like,
did that
oh,
fine.
that's a good idea. And then I never saw it until the minor grand final. I was like, oh,
Standing.
that guy was a genius.
Maybe it was one of their Nigma players.
Oh, maybe.
Oh.
Somehow I
Not
don't
in
think
your
they're in my
games.
matchmaking now. Seems unlikely. Though I have played a game against Topton before.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
I played with J4 once, you know, one of the Russian talents. And he just fed and then abandoned.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes it's just like that, you know?
Sometimes life be like that. Sometimes life just hits you hard.
Yeah. Oh, enchanted quiver on the Lich. Nice.
Big news. Solari going to be dealing the big damage now. Is that not a good drow item for the extra... sorry, not a good TA item for the extra range on the... meld
She has
strike?
no slots,
Oh,
though.
it's
She'd
fine.
rather have the vampire fangs anyway when it comes to that Aegis going down.
Really? Okay. That just proves how garbage Enchanted Quiver really is, though, doesn't it? Like a hero you would expect to love it. It's just like, nah, I don't want it.
Yeah, like it just doesn't feel very good.
You can tell Madara's bored, can't you?
Your last move.
Yeah.
A Viking will have to end this one at some stage, right?
Yeah, they will. And
The
it is
Aegis has
difficult to
just
push
run
up
out.
against the Wyvern puck, that has to
Yeah.
be said.
I guess they're happy they've got these two lanes of, like, you know, low-income creeps coming in right now. OG.SEED have pretty much just confined to their base. They don't have much vision outside of it. They're trying to reclaim this high ground right now, and they're doing their best with the wards. And Viking are not coming over to punish them. They know that this Aegis is out.
There's an AC on the bench. Jesus. This Venger's farmed.
Liking them auras.
Considering that hero doesn't farm very quickly. I guess he has the Wisp, actually, this game. Makes it a lot better.
Boots and spider legs?
The hidden ones have blessed me.
I guess you want the attributes, but still.
Better than Enchanted Quiver still.
True.
She took the 200 magic missile damage at level 20, by the way. which makes me think that if they get to this point where the Venge gets 25, she's going to get the one that pierces spell immunity, which is an absolutely crazy talent. It's so good.
Which one?
The Venge, the stun pierces spell immunity.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh no, she took the stats. Oh.
Uh,
Boo. I just looked it up.
how many stats is it?
I'll be honest, I kind of just assumed she'd taken that talent. So
Yeah, it's pretty unusual not to.
it's only +8 attributes.
What?
But it is an aura, so it's effectively +40 if you're all together.
Oh, okay, okay. What is
If
it
you
on
think
her?
about it like that.
Is it on her E?
Yeah, on her passive.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how good that is, this game.
Yeah, I don't think it even cares that much about a bit of extra agi, but there you go. Yeah, they're really just stalling this one out. Viking are feeling not confident enough to go to the finish. They're waiting for this second Roshan. OG.SEED happy to let them do so. They're happy to wait for some more items for themselves. And there's a final item found by OG.SEED, and that's going to be the repair kit going to Pexley's hands. Next items will be coming up in 4 minutes as well, so...
I love this Abaddon's inventory. It's just... There's so much rubbish neutral items just shoved. He's like... But Abaddon, you remember Abaddon 5 before, the neutral items? He would have like... Tranquil's Wand, right? And that was it. And now he actually has things... Like the Keen Optic's really good on him, for example, this game. Up against, because he needs to shield off the lasso.
Yeah, it's key.
And he has a 4-staff to get into position as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Boom actually ended up with the Aegis expiring, replacing it with a Daedalus. So yeah, you're going to be hitting pretty damn hard now. Everybody has a buyback, by the way.
Yeah, he has the bash hit as well at level 25, so the puck has to be a little bit careful now, because he can get like just 2-shot by TA, especially if there's a crit.
Yeah, waiting off this Roshan, but I mean, they still have a huge net worth lead as well, right?
Yeah, they do. They've just been building it up further and further. Like, OG.SEED aren't really farming at the moment. They're kind of just stuck.
Radiant are scanning.
So you're running in circles, OG.SEED just couldn't find his little area. How's Brexit going?
I don't know. The news.
Whole...
I haven't watched the news in a while,
There's
actually.
a very funny story on right now, actually. So, Boris Johnson, our Prime Minister, wanted to chime Big Ben when we left the EU on the 31st of January. And then they turned him down, saying that they couldn't fund it because Big Ben's currently undergoing renovations and it would cost about £500,000 to chime Big Ben. So he protested that and tried to put a bill through to allow them to put the money aside to chime Big Ben. Sorry, my country... Oh god, Pexley, you're gonna get one shot by TA. Oh, everyone gets back to their side of the map. And now Boris Johnson says we should crowdfund it, so... I don't think that's actually happened yet, but apparently a millionaire just donated 50 grand to it, so...
Jesus.
Yeah. Australia's on fire, but we're just like, no, we want to donate to a clock.
Yeah. It's a much better cause, honestly. I'm sure.
Yeah, boy.
This Roche is so important. Both teams just posturing around it.
Yeah, it's a biggie. Yeah, really
Oh, look at these creeps in the bottom lane, though. Destroying the tiny buildings.
Oh no, not a tiny buildings.
Oh dear.
Yeah, no.
You sounded
someone
like...
probably needs to come back and defend this one. Does anyone have travels on the side of OG.SEED?
I mean, if anybody does it, it'll be the
Toby,
puck.
hello, sir. They didn't deserve to get a BKB out of that one, but apparently they did. Toby quick fingers McGee over there.
Oh my goodness.
Pexy, no! Ooh. That's close. That's close. You might want to pause your game for a second or two, as it does seem
I
a little
have.
bit ahead. Okay, cool. Oh, fresh a shot on Roshan. Would have preferred to see the Aegis, because I like seeing anime TA.
You get 4 swaps, dude.
Oh, Boom jumping in, trying to find the puck, but puck is out of there. Straight into the pit, actually, and out again with the waning rift.
TV's on a mad one. It's just everywhere.
Yeah, he's having fun. Chessie sticking his nose into the pit. Roshan following him out as well. What are we doing? What's the play? It's just a big old Mexican standoff right now. And just want to point out that the tier 4 items have spawned, so... Oh, no! Pexu! Not even a chance to use his ulti, and now jumping on top of the gem, but cancelled out. Not even sure cancelled that one. Chessie trying to fight up into this one, as in comes a coil, and in comes a Winter's Curse on the sideline as well. TA is just ripping through his own fire right now, but the cheese comes out from the IO, healing back up to full, and they're still trying to fight up into this one. Chessie getting low, and there comes your big damage. The Cold Embrace ends, and Chessie is torn in two. Buybacks from Pexu, Chessie, Jibe, all coming back into this one, but Boom still on the front lines. Pexu might be going down again here, doesn't have the borrowed time, he's gone, and that is going to be pretty much everybody buying back from OG.SEED except the Abaddon, who died back into this one. Viking spending absolutely nothing. Roshan goes down, they grab the Aegis, refresh a shard, looks like Aramis picked it up of all people, and they are going to be running down your lanes right now. If they don't end the game right now, then I don't know what they're going to be doing.
It does make me laugh that Abaddon can't even get his passive off before he dies.
Yeah, the borrowed time doesn't even trigger. Too much damage.
It's pretty sad. That comes back to them taking the shrine before that. Like, if that shrine was there, when they buy back, the fight's a lot easier for the Radiant. But they buy back, and they're just stuck in their base. And they have to, like, spend all this time walking over. And by the time they get there, Drow's just been blown up. So, yeah, really well played by Viking. And it's difficult to try and force it still, but they have such an advantage that, you know, especially with no buybacks. All it takes is you killing off one hero that doesn't have it. Use your own buybacks.
TA stunned up on the backlines, but they managed to get the lasso off onto Chessie, dragging him so far out of position, he might as well be in another game. Meanwhile, the Winter's Curse comes out, and they have managed to drop Boom quite low, but this is the Aegis carrier. Chessie trying to walk back to his team, might actually be allowed to do so, but now the BKB ending the damage is there. Cold Embrace going to heal him up a little bit. Chad actually going to go down. Madara firing up these arrows from the high ground. Chessie brought back in once again, but forced after safety. OG.SEED will hold for now, and Z3 trying to make it a little bit more than a hold. She goes in deep from this one, but that illusion, that Venge illusion, super duper annoying right now, and is lasting a very long time. Venge might be dead, but she's here in spirit.
They don't have Curse now, though. I feel like they should, like, think about going again here.
Yeah, I mean, you've pretty much still got your Venge, right? Like, she's not actually dead.
Yeah, even if the Venge illusion just runs up to the high ground and hits the tower a bit, right? The 15 armor talent behind the way and the Wisp is so good this game.
It is.
Look how much armor he has.
Yeah.
42?
Casual. Good luck bringing him down. Yeah, previously he's been linking the IO to try and kill him and also, like, get the stolen damage, but I'm not even sure you want to do it anymore because you're kind of just wasting your stanic link at the same time.
I mean, he has to link the TA every fight wherever he can. It's just really difficult because there's a Hurricane Pike on the TA. There's the 4 staffs on the dire side as well. And OG.SEED just stuck in their base for now.
Oh, Flicker on IO. High risk, high reward. You might break your tethers, but you can also be extremely elusive and annoying. Might want to give that one to the Batrider, though. Is the range enough to break the tether? The, you know, the lasso?
I don't know.
Because if it isn't, that could be hilarious. Just, like, running around with someone.
I think it only works, like, the lasso doesn't break if you blink, like, a tiny amount. So I'm assuming that Flicker wouldn't work.
There is a range. There is a minimum range, and I think it says so on the spell, but unfortunately, our observer can't hear us.
Maybe he can.
Observer. Draw a circle on the floor if you can hear us.
You'll have to do better than that.
It appears not. What a disappointment.
Oh, Manta. Don't know what. I guess it's good for breaking off the silence of the puck. Oh, and that's a big item for Venge.
She
doesn't have her own. She doesn't have her own BKB yet.
They're going in deep right now. Boom's actually up onto the high ground. The rest of the team making their way across as the Cold Embrace actually, the Winter's Curse used on a solo Batrider.
Oh, the
Not the best
disarm.
usage at all. TA held back for the time being. Meanwhile, Chesai is jeeping deep, but it's actually Z-Freak, the one taking
my
the
God,
damage.
oh,
It's
Shad.
Shad and Haramis coming in hard, but now Shad all alone. Doesn't even care though. He doesn't seem to. They've got no damage to
Chessie's
dish out
really
onto him.
low.
Madara on the run. Madara getting low. Madara gets dropped, as does Chessie in the same breath, and just like that, the game ends. 2 heroes left. The GG well played is called. Viking in a 45-minute slog, but they were dominant the entire way through. A glimmer of hope for OGC, but in the end, it's the Vikings who take the victory.
Yeah, really convincing performance from them as well. A bit of an interesting draft, not something we see all the time, but I do not think this Whisper's going to get let through again. I'd be very surprised.
No, other
OG
teams have learned to ban it, and I think now OGC have as well.
Yeah, I mean, OG.SEED will know that they like playing Wisp. Like, they've played it a couple of times this tournament, I think. And they play it very well. They're probably one of the better teams I've seen utilize this Wisp so far in this tournament. The teams that get it anyway. And they drafted really well around it. I think this Batrider 3rd pick was amazing. You know, forcing them to play the Puck as a... I was going to say the Puck as a core, but they ended up making the Wyvern the core instead.
Yeah.
And Zippe didn't really feel like he did too much that game, which I don't think is necessarily his fault, but, you know, it's just the way it goes.
There was a pretty questionable Winter's Curse at the end, and 1 or 2 throughout as well. I think you have to be landing those in this type of game, but there you go. We're going to throw it over to a quick break, and then we're going to be back with the second game in OG.SEED versus Viking here at the Hainan Invitational.